That is what I like to call, ladies and gentlemen, the biggest win of the season. Your Miami Heat take out the Orlando Magic 125-119 in double overtime, which means double goosies. I don't make the rules. That's just what it is, dude, all right? Goosies on top of goosies on top of goosies on top of goosies, dude. My Goosey's cup runneth over, all right, because not only did the Miami Heat get a win today over the Orlando Magic, full-strength Orlando Magic, basically, they didn't have Jalen Suggs, to be fair. But Paolo Banchero was back, Franz Wagner, very big team. Big, lot of size on this team. Wendell Carter, Goga Batadze, Jonathan Isaac, big team. Very, very big. And how do you counter size? You bet your ass, dude, with more size. And Eric Spoelstra, we talked about this today on the channel, all right? We talked about Tall Time 2.0, all right? We've already done Tall Time, which was basically playing Nico and Bam, Kel'el and Nico, Kel'el and Bam together. We needed another version of this, a Tall Time 2.0, if you will. And by God, with about 9 minutes left in the fourth quarter, in a game where the Miami Heat were still in it. You know, we're still in it, but Orlando had kind of grabbed control of the game. Miami was at times able to get it back to a point where it was respectable. Then they just completely fell apart at the end of the third quarter. I don't know what it's not even like Miami can have bad endings to quarters. They have to have disastrous ending to quarters. And they needed something. They needed something to get it going a little bit. They get down to a 14-point deficit right away out of the gate. Miami had gone minutes upon minutes without even getting a bucket. Goga Batadze got a bucket over Kel'el Ware, and Spo calls timeout. And with about 9 minutes left, Bam Adebayo checks back into the game. He was dealing with some foul trouble, so he had a long break. He checks back into the game. Kel'el Ware still on the floor. He does not check in for Nikola Jović. The moment was here, ladies and gentlemen. All right, the moment was here. Now, on the backdrop of today's game, of course, you know, we put it on the channel as the news broke today, but if you guys were living under a rock, Jimmy Butler was suspended indefinitely by the Miami Heat today, you know, which is unfortunate, but also from a basketball standpoint, at least gives the Miami Heat some clarity. This is a monster week for them. You have Orlando coming into your building. You have Cleveland coming into your building. Two teams, very big. And have had some hard-fought battles with them. Have one of your better wins, I would say up to this point, probably beating Cleveland was your best win of the season, if not Houston. And this was important because it just felt like you're back in the building. You have this whole circus that's going to be going on. More people are going to be talking about the things around your team than what's going on the court. The Miami Heat needed a galvanizing moment. They really did. With knowing now that the Jimmy Butler thing is most likely donezo, okay? Whenever the trade happens, the trade happens. But I think the Miami Heat drew a line in the sand. Like, if Eric Spoelstra decides you're going to be on the bench and you can't deal with that, see you, dude. Like, the coach at this point is now fed up and done with it. And I think the players have been too. And, you know, from what I understand, the vibes were not fantastic around shoot around today. You have some guys dealing with some sickness too. I mean, that's a possibility. Jaime Jaquez missed the game with an illness. Duncan Robinson almost missed the game with an illness. So maybe that had part of it too, but let's be honest about this, dude. They're exhausted by this. We're all exhausted by this, and you need something to just to hold on to. And thank God that Kel'el Ware has risen from the bench ashes and is now at a point where he is the favorite for Rookie of the Year. So much so that, hey, listen, I can't wait to see what you offer me tomorrow, Hard Rock app. Okay, for that plus 5,000 that I bet on. But I do think that I obviously this is a season Tyler Hero has shined. You know Bam Adebayo is one of your cornerstones. Kel'el Ware is rising. But Nikola Jović has such a uniqueness to his game. And I'm just curious. I would love to see how that unlocks with everything else, right? I don't think that he's as overwhelmed defensively as he used to be. I'm not suggesting that be the starting lineup, but I do think it's a lineup that you need to go to from time to time. Particularly, this was the matchup to do it. And wouldn't you know it, dude? Wouldn't you know it? That it comes together, and it has a little bit of growing pains because you get a Kel'el Ware who, man, what a turnaround this guy had today, right? Like he was in foul trouble early on in this game, and I'm like, oh, great, I don't know how this is gonna go. I suppose gonna give him the old cane and sit him on the bench, but he came out in this second half. Guns a-blazing, dude. The warehouse was open, and it was storing 3 balls, man. I mean, it was great. This dude, he could not friggin' miss from downtown. It was a delight. And he hits this 3 ball and then gets a huge block. I was like, oh, man. Now, unfortunately, Anthony Black then all of a sudden started to get it going a little bit, and he had a sneaky good game. He was giving Tyler Hero headaches on a couple of possessions. He had a couple of buckets and ones. So for kind of sliding in there for Suggs, he was doing a good job today. So Miami is down a dozen with about 6.5 left in regulation. And this is the moment, dude. This is the moment they need. And when a line was drawn in the sand to change the tone of the game, you need a dog, and not just any dog, okay? You need the Dunkyard dog, and that's what we had coming out of that timeout. Duncan Robinson coming out there and just raining down threes to get the Miami Heat. Bang, bang. Right back in this puppy. He's drawing offensive fouls on Paolo Banchero. It was a delight. It really was. And I was like, all right, looks like the Miami Heat are going to be back in this puppy. Looks like they're going to be back in this puppy. And you get yourself just starting to roll again. Duncan Robinson throws a beautiful lob to Kel'el Ware, brings the Miami Heat to within 3. The building was jumping. We're just under 3 minutes left. The Magic are looking around and like, this thing is not going great. You got Bam Adebayo, who we'll get to what he did offensively in overtime, which he was tremendous today. What you want to talk about a game that is going to feel like it means a lot for Bam, I feel like going forward, but we all know what the story has been of this year. Just cannot seem to find the touch on his jumper, the touch on his hook shots, the runners, whatever. But he is the reason. If I have to point to the reason the Miami Heat won this game today, I point to number 13. I point to his captaincy. I point to the two-way basketball that he played, the defense that he played on Paolo Banchero, who's like airballing runners and just not even close and worn out by Bam Adebayo, but then also just was unbelievably clutch in overtime. We're getting ahead of ourselves because as the Miami Heat down 3, Banchero airballs a floater with Bam on him. Ware gets the rebound, and then Nikola Jović, dude, hits a big-time Serbian big balls 3-pointer to tie this puppy up at 106 apiece. I was feeling good, dude. This I mean, really was. Now, Miami almost took the lead the next possession because Duncan Robinson had Goga Bitadze on him. And Duncan's eyes got a little big, and he shook him out of his shoes, and he tried to tomahawk it down. Didn't go well. However, didn't matter. He ended up, getting the rebound on a Paolo Banchero miss. About 37 seconds left. 13 on the shot clock. Kel'el Ware, Nikola Jović, Bam Adebayo, all on the floor together. And Nico with those gigantic 6'11" point guard skills finds Kel'el Ware for the big time lob, puts the Miami Heat up 108-106, and the building, dude, was jumping. It was an event. It was a moment, dude. Those two young guns together connecting for a lob, man, it was something. Now, Franz Wagner, he's good. He ended up tying it up at 108. Hero tried a deep three, no go. Banchero, his shot, it was a no go. Then Wagner shot from half court, no good. All right. Miami then is starting off overtime. Wagner gets it going. All right. Then Duncan counters it. Duncan was looking a little gassed. He had played a lot of minutes in a row. Also, mind you, came into this game not feeling the best. But he dug through it because that's what Dunkyard Dogs do, dude. They dig through it. That's what Dunkyard Dogs do. And Banchero had a tough jumper over Nico, gives him a lead. Ware then had a bad turnover, led to a Wagner bucket. So we got 2 minutes left in overtime. Not looking great. Duncan Robinson comes out, turns it over again. Magic, they had a 3-1 break. Easy bucket, they're up 6. All right. This is where Bam Adebayo decides, no more, dude. And Bam Adebayo gets a slam, brings it to within 2, and then gets a monster and one from Tyler Hero with just over a minute left. Steps to the line, goes to the line, and misses the free throw, but bounces all around. Heat ball. They keep it, and Nikola Jović hits a onions bucket over Tristan da Silva, makes it 116 apiece. And I was like, whoa, dude. This is Goosey's right here. I am loving this game. So Wagner, he misses a bucket. Then Tyler Hero launches a bomb, but it wasn't even close. The Heat then force a turnover. Bam's about to go down the court. Spo calls timeout with 1.8, but it was at a weird angle on the court, right by the courtside seats of the Heat bench, going the other way. So the plan was, with 1.8 left, they were trying to draw up a Nikola Jović, basically 3/4 court lob from the inbounds to Kel'el Ware. They have Duncan Robinson flying off. He tries to get it to Kel'el, but it was he got caught behind the backboard and didn't go. So the Magic had 1.8 left. They are not able to convert. And with that game, with 116, it's 116 apiece, and Miami goes into the double OT. And I don't know if Orlando, if just being gas is part of it, but bet your ass, Bam Adebayo anchoring that defense, Kel'el Ware doing what he's doing in the paint. All these guys really wore their ass down and won a war of attrition today against it. Bam blows by. First off, huge play. Duncan Robinson sets up Bam Adebayo for a lob. Those guys' chemistry, I mean, it goes in the ranks of the Ninja Turtles and pizza, dude. Like, it just goes together. And so you get out to the quick lead there. Miami is able to get an air ball 3 from Wagner, but then there's a 24-second violation on their part. Carter Jr. misses a 3 ball. And then Bam Adebayo on the other end, he blows by Anthony Black and just crushes it. Puts the Heat up 120-116. On the other end of it, Wendell Carter Jr. gets a bucket and 1, brings it to within 1. Those would be the only points of the double overtime for the Orlando Magic. So the Heat and them go back and forth with their misses, and then a loose ball goes. Tyler Hero 3-ball off the loose ball from the Miami Heat, and bam, just ices it. Boy Wonder puts the dagger in it. And you could just tell in the moment there, it was emotional. It was these guys were feeling it. They needed a win like this. They force a Banchero turnover. Bam gets one more bucket on the jumper to ice this puppy and make it a final score of 125 to 119. Great performances all around from your Miami Heat. You could just see they fought. They needed something like this. You think of all the close losses they've had this year. The Kings loss, the Pistons losses, the blown losses to Orlando. They so desperately needed a win like this against a team that is in your division, a team that's above you in the standings, a team that is, maybe is trying to take the throne of Florida and, has had a lot of that. Oh, they're missing guys. They're the team with guts that's trying to put it out. And I know that they're not quite what they were to start the season. I know that they've come back to earth a little bit. But, yeah, man, Miami needed something like this. The double overtime loss to Sacramento. Just so many tough ones that the Miami Heat have just taken on the chin this year. And I just felt like they needed this one in the worst way possible. They get it. Good win, especially with all the Butler stuff that's hanging over. Your final look tonight on the box score. Here's what we got. Tyler Hero, 30 points, 8 rebounds, 12 assists for Boy Wonder. Doing it all for your Miami Heat. Duncan Robinson with 15 points, but probably hit the two biggest threes to turn this game around. And, has just been masterful with setting up his teammates, his bigs with those lobs and the facilitating he's done there. Kel'el Ware, who did zilch in the first half of this game, finished with 19 points, 10 rebounds, 2 steals, and did this with foul trouble looming over him. So a great job by him. Nikola Jović, 15 points, 7 rebounds. Just a real onions game from him. And then, in my mind, Bam Adebayo, a near triple-double, 26 points, 10 rebounds, 9 assists, 1 steal for the captain. Bam, 44 and a half minutes tonight for him. Tyler Hero, 47 minutes and 50 seconds. Nico played 46 minutes. Duncan played 45 minutes. Kel'el played 42 minutes. And they were able to withstand is the word I was looking for. I'm a wordsman. Withstand the onslaught that was the Orlando Magic. They sent the Orlando Magic down to 500 at 24 and 24. Miami's now 23 and 22. And it just, it felt big tonight. It felt big. Maybe, people look at this and be like, dude, they're not that good. All right, fine. Maybe you won't be impressed with the Cavs game, but I'm telling you as somebody who talked about this earlier today, how I wanted Tall Time 2.0 to get it, for them to fight through it. Bam, the leadership that he's shown, but also coming through with production on the offensive end, shutting down Paolo Banchero. Kel'el, what a turnaround he had from first half to second half. Nico, what can you say about the kid? Tyler Hero, steady as they go, just hits onion shots. Duncan Robinson just seems like he knows the times to set everybody up in the right place. And yeah, this all with the backdrop of hey, they had some kind of team issue earlier today where Jimmy Butler refused to come off the bench or felt insulted to come off the bench. And so they suspended him indefinitely. And so when something like that happens, I think getting that first one in your home building and getting everybody fired up and seeing the new look Heat, the post Jimmy Butler Heat for right now, it's important to grab that first one. It's important to grab that first one. There's no doubt about it. And I think especially for Adebayo today, dude, we know what the guy's capable of. We know what this guy is capable of. This, the people can, make their comments, but I I'm truly, truly believing that this guy can have a great second half of the season, and is going to be key to lead these guys because they're going to lean on him. They're going to lean on him for leadership. They're going to lean on him for running the point at times. Eric Spoelstra said this, like, it can't always be Tyler Hero on the ball making every decision. You're going to wear his ass out, and so you're going to need that ball in the hands of your bigs, Nico and Bam, especially with no Jimmy here. Look, Jimmy at his best and most engaged certainly is as dangerous as anybody with the ball in his hands. You don't have that anymore. Somebody has to step up in that regard. And respect to Terry Rozier, what he's been this season, your probably two most effective playmakers other than Tyler this season are Bam Adebayo and Nikola Jović. And especially with that very spry target that is that massive Kryptonian rookie of the year favorite, the warehouse, Kel'el Ware. Man, he's fun. 4 for 4 from downtown today. We'll look at that cash out tomorrow, Hard Rock. You'll see what you come to the table with to offer me, huh? We'll see what you come to offer. You grovel, but you grovel hat in hand for us getting the jump on this, okay? You grovel hat in hand. Great win by the Heat tonight. Great job by Spo. Love him unlocking the three bigs together. And Goosey, dude. Hopefully they can carry this over and keep it going against Cleveland.